It's interest rate setting season, and at its September meeting, the Monetary Policy Committee cut its lending rate by 50 basis points, the first rate slash in 5 years.
The committee's decision to lower the monetary policy rate was predicated on the sustained disinflation recorded in the past 5 months, projections of declining inflation for the rest of 2025, and the need to support economic recovery efforts.
The decision follows last week's U.S. Fed rate cut, signaling that global central banks may be easing up after years of aggressive tightening. But that's not all. The CBN also unveiled a bold shift in reserve requirements. Commercial banks get some breathing room with their cash reserve ratio reduced by 45%, unlocking liquidity that could flow into lending and investment. On the flip side, the regulator turned up the heat on government-linked enterprises, hiking the CRR for non-TSA parastatals to a hefty 75% in a bid to mop up excess cash and reining inflationary pressures.
So which means we most likely are going to see a situation where non-TSA businesses or organizations would then, over time, be willing or could be willing to want to move into the TSA arrangement.
I'll be a bit, careful with some of these deposits going forward, right? It will have to be because I have a need and there's something, some benefit I can get out of it, because otherwise, if you have to pay 75% CRR on a deposit, where you then know that if they show up the next day to take their funds, you don't have control over it, then you start to think about it. Then I believe people like MPC will then start to think about, because if you go to this bank is not willing, this other one is not willing, you start to think about going back, you willingly wanted to join TSA, because that way, there's really nothing for you to lose.
The message is clear. The CBN is loosening the reins to support growth while still keeping a firm grip on financial stability. Markets, investors, and everyday Nigerians will be watching closely to see how this policy mix plays out in the weeks ahead. Ladi Williams, Channels Television News.